Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, February 25th. We're looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. First and foremost, don't forget, today at 4:30 p.m. I am doing a webinar with Window Trader. So if you have an interest, please hit me up on Twitter, YouTube for the link, and I'll send it to you. It's free. So this morning, all three of the indices that we follow here, the IWM, Triple Qs, and SPY, were all attempting early on to look above yesterday's highs. But as of right now, with about 75 minutes to go prior to the opening, they've all pulled back inside of yesterday's range. Now, generally after a day like yesterday, you do get some consolidation. So it looks like they're going to attempt that prior to hopefully going higher. So let's look at the Russell first. So as you can see, here's the Russell. They were looking higher this morning. Now they're back inside yesterday's range. They did not have a price probe. They were 9 wide yesterday. So if they open inside yesterday's range, I could see them at least trading and testing the 9 wide point of control yesterday. They did have 2 sets of single prints. So right now, a nice healthy trend day from yesterday and an afternoon pullback low in H. For the Triple Qs, remember, unlike the IWM and ES and SPY, they have a lot of headwind to their all-time highs. Again, they were looking above yesterday's high. They went out with a price probe. Right now, they're a pretty decent amount below the price probe, below their pullback. They had only 1 set of single prints. So, again, that's going to be important for them to hold. Remember where D period from the 23rd, that's where change took place. It took them a while to get over it yesterday, then they exploded, and now look, right where that was an important level on the 23rd, yesterday, that's where the single prints get filled. So again, if they fill these single prints, and you start getting acceptance back into the meat of the 23rd's profile, yes, they took out yesterday's high and it put the daily back in balance, but in the bigger picture, things have not changed. Remember, they have 2 gaps above them, they have 2 trend days above them. So for them to get to their all-time high, there was a lot of work to do. You don't want to start today off by getting acceptance back into D's range from the 23rd. Now, SPY and ES. Again, very little headwind to the all-time high. We have a couple of daily highs to deal with, and that's it. Buyers had a tremendous amount to lean on from yesterday. We had a price probe. Right now, it's being rejected. We have an afternoon pullback low from K, which right now is being rejected. Then we have 3 sets of single prints, F, D, and C. Just like I told you how important that D high is for the Triple Qs, well, yesterday's B high to me is the line in the sand for ES and SPY. That is basically, B's high is right in the middle of those 2 weekly lows we talked about, which we got under earlier in the week, and then yesterday just ripped above them. If we do not stay above them and close above them by tomorrow night in the weekly, nothing's changed again. Even though there's no headwind to the all-time high, all this was an attempt to get back to the top of inside a balance and start heading towards the top, and it would have failed, I think. And you'd be right in the middle of the balance then. So I think 387.50 level is still critical in SPY. We're still $3 above it. We still have all these single prints, but you want to hold them. Destinations for today. Upside, I'm just going to give you 2. That's yesterday's high, 392.23, and the overnight high, 393.10. Should have all the rest of them. Downside also, I don't want to go over all of them again. The price probe right now, 392.16, is being rejected. The afternoon pullback low, 390.99. We're below it right now, but again, there's 75 minutes to go, and then you should have all the single prints and all the data from yesterday. Our overnight low right now is 390.35. Game plan. Well, again, looking to open possibly in balance, in value, consolidation after a trend day. There's nothing wrong with that. That's typical. It's healthy. It's healthy if you hold at least one of these single prints, I think. So any push down, I would look to be taking longs somewhere around possibly F's low to E's low, those areas there, again, I might start small. I might get bigger if it pushes down because my risk is out eventually inside of B's range. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be huge going down to there. I want to see what kind of tempo, what kind of volume we get. What do we do at the opening? Do we go back and forth through it with uncertainty, or is one side win the opening? Those are things to look for early. So I would be looking for call plays. Remember, you're going in balance, in value is the worst of your risk reward. But there are things to lean on in here. Just going to have to be very prudent at what levels you take them at and have your stops in. And on the flip side, if we're to open around here and push up, well, the fact that we had buyers yesterday at J's high and they're not there now, well, until buyers prove again that they want to start going higher, I would probably take a short against J's high. Two really early plays in CamelbackTrading.org's voice channel room. And then I'm just going to show you for now, well, I'll show you the weekly. So here's the weekly in SPY. So here's those two lows I'm talking about. 387.50, 387.74. We got below them pretty good this week, right? We got below them by $7, over $7. But we've battled our way back into them. You don't want to give that up by the end of this week. Because if you do, this entire balance here, again, will come into play. And then on the daily, we stopped the one-time framing down, put us firmly in balance. Again, balances are very subjective. You could use a 3-day balance, or you can encompass this whole 9 or 12, 11-day balance now, as far as this being the low of it and the all-time high being the top of it. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.